People want to be into civil services, right? The designation itself is a charm, like you get the power. And how difficult was it for you to leave that behind and, to start a journey as new?
I thought my career is 35 years. After 24 years, I thought, what is stopping me from leaving now? My career should be something more meaningful to me at this stage. So I started thinking in terms of public speaking.
As a professional, what role you are enjoying the most?
You have to enjoy every day of life, and there is a very beautiful concept, you know it. It's called mindfulness. आने वाला पल जाने वाला है. हो सके तो इसमें जिंदगी बिता दे.
We have heard a lot कि political pressure रहता है. So is it a ground reality?
You got calls from politicians or powerful people, and you said that this part of your request is doable. This part is not doable.
आज के टाइम पे when we see the content, जो comedy content आता है, they make a lot of fun around this. Is it really that कि ये सिर्फ content बनाने के लिए कुछ?
UPSC journey is not easy. That 70 to 80% of the time I need to spend on my UPSC goal. But I also need to go for a movie sometimes. I need to go for a gym. I need to spend time with friends. And then only in that 70% I will be fresh to study.
If we have to give students example of a perfect life for their age, so what sort of perfect life they should think?
फितूर होता है हर दौर में जुदा जुदा. पहले खिलौने, फिर इश्क, फिर पैसा, फिर खुदा खुदा.
So today's episode is very special and I'm personally looking forward to it. The reason is young generation most of the time are looking forward to careers like they want to be an IAS, they want to do a startup, or they want to be a content creator and they want to be a public speaker. And today our guest is doing all of it. So I think this will be a very fruitful conversation for anybody in the new generation who are looking for their career. So we welcome Mr. Vivek Atray. Welcome, sir. Very nice to have you.
Thank you, Ritesh. Good to be here.
And I'm personally looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah,
and I want
me
to start
too.
with this. The way I said, like the young generation is looking forward to it. कि वो या तो career के अंदर IAS बनना चाहते हैं या entrepreneur बनना चाहते हैं या they want to be, the influencer and creator. And you're doing it all. तो आप उन young generation के लिए क्या कहना चाहेंगे? If it has to be one choice, what should they choose at this point?
They should choose whatever is closer to the heart. And I have a theory now. Earlier I didn't realize it, but we keep changing. So if someone is 18 today, he or she is looking at luxury, big cars, property, success. When you become a little mature, you realize those things are not as important as family, meditation, quality of life, conversations, coffee. The priorities change.
Right.
So out of the things you said, if somebody is 28 or let's say 22, 23, he or she should be trying for civil services or for a good career. Even startup is okay, that's good, but you can have some experience before going there. And to become an influencer today is also an important thing, but I feel that either you should have a very bright spark at a very young age, then it's okay, you go straight into that. But if you have some experience of any sector, like you have, than I have. So we can talk with more experience, insight and maturity. So the influencers who have already done some other work in their lives, they come with more substance.
Right.
So then we become more meaningful. And otherwise, as I said, if you're 18 or 17 and you want to become an influencer, you have to have a bright spark. You have to be very creative. You have to be very energetic. Your parents should allow you. You should have a revenue model. हमारे एक अंकल हैं, just to make it lighter, I give his name also, VK Kapoor साहब, former DGP. He says, Vivek, ये सब जो चीज़ें हैं ना, ये मासूम से शौक है. तो मासूम सी बातें हैं. तो हम अब जो कर रहे हैं, ये मासूम सी बातें हैं.
Right.
ठीक है. लेकिन अगर हमारा सारा जो livelihood इस पे डिपेंड करता, तो फिर सीरियस बात है. Then will I get the hits? Will I get the revenue? What we are doing now is maybe a little bit it is important, but mostly we are doing it from the heart and for the love of it. That is more important.
That's very right. I think following your passion and then refining it as per the need of the hour is the right strategy. For sure.
Absolutely. I mean, keep changing. So later, earlier my passion or whatever I was doing was civil services. Now I'm more interested in reaching out to the youth through podcasts, through reels, through travel, talks.
So that's my question next. Like people want to be into civil services, right? The designation itself is a charm. Like you get the power. And how difficult was it for you to leave that behind and, to start a journey as new?
So, I've never given this answer that you have, this question has come every time. But suddenly I thought of a new idea to answer you. So the first point here is that The Japanese people, they eat only 80% of their hunger. After they are 80% full, roughly, you can't measure, but roughly, they know that now the body actually is telling them that you should stop, but we don't listen. Because when you're 100% full, you have actually by then eaten 120%.
Right.
You get the signal a little late. So you should stop eating at 80%. I thought my career is 35 years. After 24 years, I thought, what is stopping me from leaving now? I've had a good career, good reputation, good name. The next 11 years don't excite me so much because I'll become more and more senior, more and more powerful, no doubt. But it doesn't excite me anymore. So my career should be something more meaningful to me at this stage. So I started thinking in terms of public speaking, mentorship, guiding others. And then the youth is under a lot of stress today. Because we are always on screen time, anybody, any age group, and we are comparing ourselves with others. Podcasts will compare with other podcasts.
Right.
A guest will compare himself with other guests. So comparison is never ending. So then I realized that I and you and people like us need to go and talk to these young people. Tell them कि यार थोड़ा सा chill करो. Don't be so tense. Your parents' expectations are piling on. Do the best you can. And then if I tell them this, somehow they listen to me. So if I can relieve the pressure a little bit, it's a more important role in life than sitting in the government department and clearing the files. There are 500 IAS officers in Punjab, Haryana, so why not?
Definitely. With that authority, I think you have the power to sign the files to improve the life of the people around you. And
You
this
have,
way also.
no, I must say in this very stage of this podcast, there is no better job than the civil services because you are actually touching the lives of the human beings. You are not manufacturing Coca-Cola or mics or whatever it is. You are touching lives and you are improving their lives, hopefully. But there is a stage for everything, and I felt that my contribution to society now will be better outside. Now I'm a visiting professor, I'm a mentor, I'm an Instagram, LinkedIn influencer in a way. I make a lot of videos, reels, I interview other people also. So I try to inspire. That vibration is very important, I feel.
So I want to understand, like, what as a professional, what role you are enjoying the most? Were you enjoying that position, or are you enjoying this moment where you're actually, changing the lives of millions, I would say, directly or indirectly?
You have to enjoy every day of life, and there is a very beautiful concept, you know it. It's called mindfulness. So you're living in the moment, and there is a saying, there's a song rather, आने वाला पल जाने वाला है. हो सके तो इसमें जिंदगी बिता दे, इसी में पल जो ये जाने वाला है. अब जो हम बात करनी शुरू की थी वो चला गया पल. अब हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. So I think every day and every stage of life is extremely important. You have to take it seriously. You have to take it enthusiastically. जोश नहीं कम होना चाहिए. Sam Manekshaw, Field Marshal साहब, अभी Sam Bahadur picture, superb. Vicky Kaushal's role and the whole direction. When you look at that character in the movie, or you can understand the real life of Manekshaw, he was full of josh and enthusiasm even into his 90s.
Right.
Because he told General Malik, who was the army chief in the Kargil war, and Field Marshal was now like well into his 80s or 90s, I don't know which. He tells General Malik, can I help in any way? He calls him up and says, can I help? Ab General Malik is surprised that ye old soldier is telling me, can I help? And he came, he met all the injured in the hospital and inspired them. तो देखो ये जो जोश है ये लाइफ का चलता रहता है. एंड देयर इज अ शेयर व्हिच आई यूज इन मेनी ऑफ माय वीडियोस एंड आई विल यूज इट हियर आल्सो बिकॉज इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. और ये व्हाट्सएप पे आया, एनोनिमस है, डोंट नो हु रोट इट. फितूर होता है हर दौर में जुदा जुदा, पहले खिलौने, फिर इश्क, फिर पैसा, फिर खुदा खुदा. सो दिस इज अ लीनियर इक्वेशन. First we start with toys, then we go to crushes, then we go to romance, then we go to career, then we think of God or we don't think of God. Option 4 बाद में वो last में रह जाता है. So I think we change over the years. So what you said, I enjoyed that at that stage. I'm enjoying this at this stage. I think Manekshaw is a great role model for that. धोनी को देख लीजिए आप. He enjoyed his captaincy career. He's enjoying his mentorship career. He will enjoy his maybe coaching career. You saw him that day at the final match. He was cool and calm, and he's a very inspiring person. So I think every day of his life he lives to the fullest. That's what I also aspire to do.
Right. I think the concept of mindfulness is the way like forward to it. If you are happy from inside and if you are joyous, you'll have that energy.
Yeah.
And everything around you is an aura in that aspect, right?
Absolutely
and you
correct.
pass it on to other people in that way.
Very
And
true.
the way you said about the young people, that's for sure, sir. Like they are, I would say, the persons of the era who's facing the biggest challenge of their life.
Yeah.
Technology is changing like anything. Career aspects have changed. It used to be like you study, you get a job, and then you're settled for life. Now it is like every 2-3 years the technology is changing in a way they have to change their careers, or maybe they have to upskill themselves, right? So you, with that experience of life, what would you suggest them? Like they should not be still, they should not be confined in one role. How would they keep themselves in a way that जोश भी बना रहे और साथ की साथ फितूर भी ना आए, वो वाला फंडा वो कैसे करें?
बड़ा अच्छा है. एक गाना और था, आई डोंट नो व्हाई आई एम रिमेम्बरिंग दीज मूवी सॉन्ग्स. जीवन चलने का नाम, चलते रहो सुबह शाम. यू सेड मूविंग ऑन. There was another piece I wrote. I write a column for Hindustan Times. It's going to complete 10 years in this month itself.
Great.
10 years of fortnightly columns, 260 articles I've written in the last 10 years. In that, I wrote once about the story of lions and gazelles in Africa. The lion has to chase the gazelle and eat it to survive. The gazelle has to escape the lion to survive. It's a basically law of the jungle. So when they wake up in the morning, the lion is thinking, I have to run faster than the slowest gazelle to eat the gazelle and survive. The gazelle is thinking, I have to run faster than the fastest lion to survive. But when you get up in the morning, you have to be running. You can't be stagnant. It's a great story. So anyone who is stagnant is not really progressing in life, and the purpose of life is not being fulfilled. You can have breaks and you must have pauses. You must have rest breaks. You must have that mindfulness concept. You must refresh yourself, energize yourself. But once you get going, you should have that momentum. अब वो मोमेंटम कैसे आएगा जब आप जोश के साथ चल रहे हैं आगे और आप कहीं ना कहीं यू फॉल, यू स्टम्बल, यू गेट अप अगेन. वो कहते हैं गिरते हैं शह सवार ही मैदान जंग में, वो तिफल क्या गिरेंगे जो घुटनों के बल चलें. घोड़े पे बैठोगे तभी गिरोगे. So you have to keep moving, and I think it's fantastic to have that energy from within. कल कुछ हुआ, ठीक नहीं हुआ, किसी ने कुछ कहा, किसी ने कुछ you had a setback, you got some news which is not very good for you. Tomorrow is another day. You bounce back. So my second book was called Dubey Ji Bounces Back. दुबे जी और यंग बॉय राघव दुबे उसकी स्टोरी है, उसको निकनेम दुबे जी है. ही कीप्स बाउंसिंग बैक फ्रॉम ऑल द एडवर्सिटीज, सो वी मूव फॉरवर्ड. एंड अल्टीमेटली द स्पिरिचुअल पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ that we have to move towards God, and that also means that whatever we are doing has to be keeping that God in mind, which है खुदा खुदा जो हमने कहा. सो हम काम भी कर रहे हैं, एम्बिशन भी है, हमें पॉडकास्ट में नंबर्स भी ज़्यादा चाहिए, व्यूज़ भी चाहिए, हमें इनकम भी कंफर्टेबल चाहिए, हमें पॉपुलैरिटी पावर भी चाहिए, लेकिन रीजनबली. बट वी मूव फॉरवर्ड इन आवर करियर्स, वी मूव फॉरवर्ड इन लाइफ, एंड वी अपग्रेड आवर ओन वर्जन्स ऑल्सो. लास्ट पॉइंट ऑन दिस, आई गो टू मैनी टॉक्स एंड दिस इज़ अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक वी टॉकिंग अबाउट. सो आई टेल देम कि आईफोन का कौन सा वर्जन चल रहा है, सर 17 प्रो मैक्स और समथिंग. तो मैं विच वर्जन, कहते सर 17 प्रो मैं आपका कौन सा वर्जन चल रहा है. सोचने लग जाते हैं, सर मैं तुम्हारा भी 17 चल रहा है. नहीं सर मेरा तो 4 ही चल रहा है. हाँ, और अपग्रेडेशन ज़रूरत है अभी. हाँ सर, परफेक्शन तो कोई नहीं मिला अभी. नहीं. So we have to keep moving on, as you rightly said, progress. If you are angry kind of person, you reduce your anger. If you are a physically fit person, you continue that fitness. You cannot slow down.
Right.
So this whole answer is about moving forward and improving.
Yeah, have an end goal towards the God and just keep moving in that way.
Yeah.
But I think, sir, the generation, because I also happen to have, interactions with a lot of students who are, campus going, and they are looking for their placements or maybe starting up their startup. What I felt is like with the changing scenario around the social media and content consumption, they are more towards law of attraction, and they feel like manifestation is the thing. Like rather than action, they get, maybe stuck in that loop, like you have to just manifest and things will work by itself. So what is your stance on that to guide them, like this is not just the thing, you have to do action along that?
So, you have to feel a little sorry for the current Gen Z and millennials, and you are a millennial, I guess, or I don't know, Gen Alpha. Because the times have changed to an extent that confusion is quite normal. हमारे से पहले ज़माने में my father used to say that of course engineering and medicine were two streams,
Right.
BA, BCom, whatever. Government job, non-government job, whatever. That's it. There was no confusion. थोड़ा बहुत होता होगा वो सॉल्व हो जाता है. Now the variations are so subtle. आप कॉफ़ी पीने जाओगे कैफ़े में,
You have the options.
you have so many options. And then the cheese that the pizza has, or the topping, or that, there are so many options that the guy will try and confuse you, and you are liable to get confused. Stick with the basics. So I would say the students of today, they have so many options available, they don't know which one to go for. And then, like you said, that manifestation करके सोच के काम हो जाएगा, नहीं होगा. We have to work. And in this, I'll bring in the concept of body, mind, and soul. I have to look after my body and mind. I also have to look after my soul, which is that nurturing of the spirituality. But if you talk about body and mind, the body will become stale if you don't act, if you're not physically active. So, Blinkit means that you don't go to the market anymore. Zomato is an additional facility. कैफ़े फिर भी जा रहे हैं, जोमेटो भी आ रहा है, घर पे खाना नहीं खा रहे. So, Blinkit and other things have made us stationary. Screen time has made us stationary. टेलीविजन के आगे नहीं बैठे तो फ़ोन के आगे तो बैठे ही हैं. So, I think this sedentary life and not acting physically is leading to lethargy. It's a vicious circle. तो हर रोज़ फिर आप zombie type feel करते हो. फिर आपका स्क्रीन टाइम ज़्यादा हो गया, फिर आप सोए नहीं ठीक से. तो इफ़ यू वेक अप एट 12 and you slept at 3, you have slept for 9 hours.
Right.
But the cycle is wrong. 3 a.m. you slept and 12 you got. Unless you have a job which is America centric or timings are such, or Canada आप रहे हैं, or television or something makes you. My brother-in-law was on, he's a famous TV personality, Jujhar Singh, used to be on TV, co-brother. So he would come home by 2 a.m. and then obviously you sleep at 3 a.m. and then you get up late, and he used to go for a walk at 11 a.m. Hot sun भी हो, 11 बजे सुबह दोपहर को वो जा रहे हैं गर्मी में. तो point is this, that in this era the options are more, the confusion is more, but you have to act, you have to read, you have to exercise, you have to have conversations. So I tell them that avoid overthinking. पता नहीं आपका point है overthinking का नहीं है, but we'll talk about overthinking.
But definitely we should put light on that.
Let's put light on that here itself, because we're talking about the Gen Z. They are overthinking and underacting, not acting on what they should be doing. The first way to become less of a procrastinator and more action oriented is physical fitness. Why should we use the lift? I told your friend when we were coming up, if it was still even third floor or second floor, I wouldn't have used the lift. He says fourth floor. I said, chalo, late bhi ho raha hai, let's go. The fourth floor I could easily do. Why not? So use your body as much as you can for physical exercise. And the gym is good, but gym is not enough. I am an outdoor sports person. I would suggest that outdoor sports at least thrice a week is very important. Secondly, meditation, mental fitness, spirituality, contemplation, mindfulness, sit down and focus on the present moment. Clutter ko nikalo, kam karo kam se kam. Thirdly, creativity. Why don't you change something in your room, in your clothes, in your personality? When I go to these colleges or schools and the boys have these crazy hairstyle, I mean, crazy is a compliment. Right. I say, very good.
Right.
आपने कुछ सोचा कि मुझे नया हेयर स्टाइल चाहिए, मुझे स्पाइक्स चाहिए, मुझे वो इडली चाहिए, मुझे मशरूम चाहिए, जो भी चाहिए. You thought about something creative. You're not run of the mill. So creativity in music, art, sports, writing, poetry, something, it adds a lot of energy to your life. Number 4, what I said, conversations. दिल हल्का करना, मन हल्का करना, बात करना, कुछ एक्सप्रेस करना, एक्सप्रेशन. You know about writing therapy,
Right.
music therapy. My daughter is into arts-based therapy, expressive arts therapy. So how you de-stress using creativity.
Right.
Wonderful topic. And fifth is the books, as I said. So when we read, we cannot fast forward this paper.
True.
तो मैं उसको पढ़ रहा हूँ तो ये जो लिखा हुआ है सेकंड करियर है स्पीकर मेंटर, जो भी आपने पॉइंट्स बोला, वो मैं 1.5 नहीं कर सकता उसको. तो माय माइंड विल बी स्टेबल.
Right.
सो ये 5-6 चीज़ें हैं जिससे हमारी ओवर थिंकिंग एंड वरीज कम हो जाती हैं.
Right.
या
You mentioned it very right, sir. I think that's why books की आज के टाइम पे preference बहुत बड़ी है, especially in people जो mentally aware हैं,
Yes.
mindful हैं.
Yes.
Like what's the purpose of reading book? Earlier was just academic knowledge. Now it's more about your inner journey. My point of understanding on the what you said about, confusion and, finding solution to that. There's a new layer now, AI. Like this is the buzzing word all around. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's understanding it in a way. It is very important. But I think they are still behind in that aspect, how to actually use it optimized in an optimized way.
Yeah.
So Gen Z is already confused. They're already, doom scrolling all the day. But now AI has come in. Like they got the excuse to not to work by themselves because they have now AI agents, AI bots. And I think they are getting into that loop again कि जिससे बाहर निकलना उनके लिए hard हो जाएगा. So is this technology a good thing for them or how they should prepare themselves? Because this is coming in any way. तो क्या आपकी
सो
understanding
मेरी
इस
एक
चीज़ के
TEDx टॉक है इसी पे, एंड इज़ अ गुड टॉपिक टू टॉक अबाउट. आई रिसेंट लास्ट ईयर की है, AI versus human intelligence. And nowadays there's a very stupid kind of meme which is that artificial intelligence and natural stupidity. It could be the other way around. आपके पॉडकास्ट पे कह रहा हूँ, artificial stupidity and natural intelligence
Right.
is possible. Because AI will give you answers sometimes जब pathetic. उसको समझ नहीं आया आपकी बात क्योंकि आपका प्रॉम्प्ट ठीक नहीं था. आजकल प्रॉम्प्ट पे बड़ा वो हो रहा है कि प्रॉम्प्ट क्या दे रहे हैं आप. सो कैलिबर ऑफ प्रॉम्प्ट. But luckily I am an engineer, I am a technologist, I was director of IT, I understand these things. AI is something which is inevitable. But our human brain is far more powerful. And students are underutilizing their intelligence, and going forward it will become even worse unless the education system does something. There are ways to check whether it is AI written or it is human, right? So if you can ban or at least limit the use of AI in assignments, homework, etc., it is possible to check. Then only they will be able to write originally. Some schools, and I am a lot in education. I am also visiting professor with Shulini University, Solan. I am visiting professor now, going to Jaipur at JECRC University, various others. Some schools and universities are limiting the time that the teacher can use technology in the classroom.
Okay.
So that smart board and that AI and that smartphone and the laptop, the usage is limited to, let's say, 40% of your day. उसके ज़्यादा टाइम उसको नहीं यूज़ करेंगे हम. ड्राइंग हम हाथ से करेंगे, सिंगिंग ऑफ कोर्स खुद करेंगे, play and activity, group games and discussions, etc. Then अपना writing. एक अभी आया WhatsApp, which is very important. People who are writing into their 80s and 70s, 80s, 90s by hand, their brains are much sharper.
Yes.
Because they're using the pen. एंड ऑप्शन सेलेक्ट करना कीबोर्ड पे इज मच ईजियर. उसमें आपको और मुझे पता है कि जब हम टेक्स्ट करते हैं तो प्री रिकॉर्डेड वर्ड्स आ रहे हैं, प्रिडिक्टिव टेक्स्ट इज कमिंग, वी आर सेलेक्टिंग. सो हियर वी आर राइटिंग, स्पेलिंग्स भी याद रखने हैं, नाम भी याद रखना है आपको. सो आई थिंक AI के एरा में, टू इन अ नटशेल, योर डिफरेंशिएटर इज एक्चुअली योर ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस एंड योर इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस. बिकॉज AI डजंट हैव इमोशंस. उसको आप एक प्रॉम्प्ट दोगे ऐसा कोई नेगेटिव सा, वो कहेगा किल हिम. That's not the answer. So you can't kill people. And on a lighter side, I went to Shulini University many times, and I spoke once there, and they gave me feedback. So one boy writes, "Sir, you killed it." तो वो तो Gen Z का टर्म है. पहले मैंने देखा उसको 2-3 साल में, मैं कहा यार ये killed it क्या. मैं asked my daughter, she said, "Papa, it means you were fantastic." वो तो killed it.
It was in a positive way from their side.
From their side. But coming back to this AI question, balance is the key of the universe. This world is full of duality. Evil and good, heat and cold. Everything is love and hate. It is opposite. So we have to balance AI with human intelligence. And it has to be a tool. We cannot allow it to become the boss.
Right.
20 years ago, when laptops came, internet came, let's say 30 years ago, in a big way, we thought that jobs will go and human beings will be left with nothing to do. Same is the situation today.
Right.
It is real for sure, but we will modify our jobs. We will, with new jobs will come. And that Maslow's hierarchy is there, the pyramid is there, that the basics are taken care of by society, road, power, water. Then comes your food, etc. is taken care of. Then mankind goes to higher realms. If I have a personal robot which is doing everything for me using technology, so I have free time now. He is doing all my things, supposing. And if I can press a button and fly from here to Panchkula,
Right.
where I live, then I have a lot of time to spare after 200 years, whoever is there. I have to think of then longevity, art, music, human relationships, betterment of society. So if it becomes a tool, then human beings can actually live superior lives.
Right.
What we need to avoid is addiction. So this is the crux of the matter. Overuse. And education systems need to curb the use of AI so that students can use their brains.
Right. I think the real power lies in being yourself as a real person.
Absolutely.
Reality of yourself as a human being. If you being the master of the technology, you'll enjoy or you'll use it in that way. I want to understand, sir, your journey. Like, I want to get a bit insight. Like, when you started with UPSC, the civil services, what sort of student were you? Like, you were a topper, backbencher, yeah, a balance of both.
Neither a backbencher nor a top. Sometimes I was backbencher, sometimes front bencher also. See, I have been blessed to be an all-rounder. In cricket, I have been a batsman, a bit of a bowler, but in life, I've been an all-rounder. I could probably have been one of the toppers if I had worked harder in my studies. I did not come through the UPSC exam to IAS. I came through the Haryana Civil Service route to IAS.
Okay.
My father was a police officer. He died in service. I got an appointment to HCS. I was preparing for UPSC, no doubt. I'd cleared the prelims and all. But he died and I got an HCS job. After many years, I got an IAS position in the same promotion. But when I became an IAS officer, I was equal to any other IAS officer of my rank. And it was a powerful enough post. But as a student, I was a little upset at not having become a cricketer. I was very keen. And till the age of 18, my passion and dream was to play cricket only for India. At the age of 18, my dad told me that either you should now be as good as so-and-so or that level that you are almost playing for India at 18. So 2021, you have to break through.
Right.
Only Tendulkar came at 15, 16, now Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Otherwise, 22, 23. So 18, you should be almost there like. And I was not. I was playing Sikar Naidu and all, but not of that level that I could be an India player. So he had a talk with me, my parents, that you go for engineering. And luckily for me, I had qualified for that. I also got a sports seat in that because I had played Sikar Naidu twice. So my marks plus sports, all-rounder wali baat, were enough to get me admission. I went to NIT Kurukshetra. We were guest students for Haryana Engineering College, ultimately NIT Kurukshetra. So cricket took a back seat and it broke my heart for a while. 1 year I was very low that I will not become a cricketer now. I still played, but it was not the same. Even today I play. Right. We are playing some seniors matches and we have a condition that some players will be below 40, others will be above 40. That's how we play. And I play with very senior people. But that student life took a hit in that and the engineering started. But engineering was a breeze. It was cool. It was not difficult. I became an electronics engineer. I met my wife to be in college.
Okay.
So that proved to be a boon. I was in third year, she was in first year when she came. Then we started dating, we started getting together. And then when I graduated, 2 years later, she graduated. She started working in Procter Gamble, I started working for the Haryana Civil Service because my father passed away. We got married after 5, 6, 7 years. Life went on.
So as you mentioned sir, like आपने यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन तो जर्नी शुरू करी थी. So आज के टाइम पे when we see the content जो कॉमेडी कंटेंट आता है, they make a lot of fun around this कि यूपीएससी की तैयारी के टाइम पे it was like only in the library and then you have boys fun and all that stuff. So is it really that कि ये सिर्फ कंटेंट बनाने के लिए कुछ?
नहीं, अब मैं काफ़ी जानता हूँ इसके बारे में because as an officer or a former officer, I have been mentoring many UPSC aspirants. I'm the mentor of Vivek Career Academy, which my friend had set up. There's another Vivek also there, Dr. Vivek Rana and Dr. Jagpreet Singh. We are mentoring the students. And in fact, you'll be happy to know, अभी जो लिस्ट आई है IAS की, उसमें All India Rank 3, Akansh Dhul, is our student. In interview round, we prepared him. I prepared him, chairing the mock interview. So there were 3, 4 people, one former DGP, he was chairing the mock interview of that one. I chaired another round for him. So we were able to make him successful in that. I mean, he of course himself, but we helped him a lot. So I see their journey, and that UPSC journey is not easy. But if they are into entertainment and if they are into some kind of all-round activities, I say it's good to an extent. So there is an 80-20 rule.
Right.
And you can even stretch it to 70-30. So 80% you have to be focused on what you're doing. And then only you will be able to be successful. Although Pareto's principle of 80-20 rule is a slightly more nuanced thing, but we go into the rough definition. That 70 to 80% of the time I need to spend on my career goal or my UPSC goal. But I also need to go for a movie sometimes. I need to go for a gym. I need to spend time with friends. And then only in that 70% I will be fresh to study.
Right.
But I said it earlier and I'll say it on your podcast, very important. Sleep is not to be compromised. While you're preparing for UPSC, if you're not sleeping 6 to 7 hours, you're not fresh to study. And if you're going to play a match or you're going to give a speech or whatever you have to do in life, you should have been rested well before going there.
Right.
So I think UPSC aspirants have to be balanced. I take these mock interviews and luckily for us, we are, one of them even told me, jokingly बता रहा हूँ कि आपका इंटरव्यू ज़्यादा टफ था सर वहाँ वाले से तो हम लोग कर देते हैं वो, तो उसको हम प्रिपेयर कर देते हैं.
Right.
So I think we are seeing these all-round balanced personalities succeeding. But somebody who is a total पढ़ाकू may not succeed. तो ये भी ज़रूरी है. तो आपने जो कहा boys fun, boys girls fun, no harm. I would say to an extent you have to have that josh and energy. Where will it come from?
Right.
आप पढ़ते तो you will wither away. So you have to go and watch that film or go for that entertainment and then come back and study.
That exposure
So
you
out of the
definitely
things
need.
you said, if somebody
and
is
when you were in service, sir, so I want to understand from my perspective, we have heard a lot कि political pressure रहता है, that interferes with the person's ability to, execute the tasks on that position. So is it a ground reality or is it something that is manageable to the context?
It is manageable in the sense that if you are balanced, as I said, as an officer also you have to be. अभी हम पढ़ाई में balance थे तो आगे भी balance रहना है. So balance का मतलब ये हुआ, संतुलन आपने बना के रखा. You did not succumb to pressure. You got calls from politicians or powerful people and you said that this part of your request is doable. This part is not doable. Or he called you 5 times in a month. Out of that 4 things were doable or 2 things were doable, rest were not doable. पॉलिटिशियन का क्या होता है, वो कई बार फ़ोन इसलिए करता है कि लोग उसके सामने बैठे हुए हैं तो फ़ोन करेगा, हाँ जी विवेक जी देख लेना ज़रा इनकी बात सुन लेना. नो मैं उधर बैठा हूँ, अब मैं उसको क्यों बोलूँ कि नहीं मैं नहीं सुनूंगा इनकी बात. दैट इज़ फुल हार्डी ऑफ मी. हाँ जी भेज दो आप, आई विल सी व्हाट इट इज़. नाउ दोज गाइज विल कम. नाउ आई विल टेल देम कि हाँ दिस पार्ट ऑफ योर पॉइंट इज़ फाइन बट दिस पार्ट इज़ नॉट फाइन. सर उन्होंने तो कहा था, नहीं उन्होंने ये नहीं कहा था कि ये ज़बरदस्ती करो, उन्होंने कहा था बात सुन लेना, मैं सुन ली तुम्हारी बात और ये पार्ट आपका ठीक भी है, ये हो जाएगा. वो नहीं होगा. देन दे विल गो टू हिम. इफ ही इज सो इम्पॉर्टेंट, इफ दैट पार्ट इज सो इम्पॉर्टेंट, दे विल गो टू हिम, ही विल कॉल अगेन. सर वो नहीं हो पाएगा. सो आई हैव टू बी बैलेंस्ड. आई मेक दैट रेपुटेशन. इन अ स्टेट लाइक पंजाब, हरियाणा, हिमाचल, दीज आर स्मॉल स्टेट्स. यूपी, राजस्थान, मध्य प्रदेश, दे आर टू बिग. महाराष्ट्र. In these small states, everybody knows everybody.
Right.
They know who has a reputation of going out of the way and who is a reputation which is solid. अगर आप solid reputation बना लोगे तो आपको फ़ोन आने भी बंद हो जाएंगे. वो कहेंगे विवेक ने नहीं करना ये काम, he won't do it. आप उनको मत बोलो ये वाली बात, वो उनको पता होता है.
Right. And sir, your transition towards being an entrepreneur, how was that? I mean, if you could just tell about the starting phase of it, when you just took the decision and I'm going to start it now.
So I got a lot of training in the government, fortunately for me. I was the first director IT of Chandigarh. It was almost an entrepreneurial kind of job in the government because I was setting up the IT park of Chandigarh, my job. My boss told me कि विवेक you're an engineer, आपको हमने director IT बना दिया. Additional charge था UT का. I was director public relations and tourism of Chandigarh. Additional charge of IT. But I started working like an entrepreneur, setting up a new office, getting permissions, recruiting some 5-6 people who were good. Then we had a team. Tourism में भी किया काफ़ी कुछ इस तरह. Then we started promoting Chandigarh. कि आप Infosys and दूसरी companies come and invest in Chandigarh. It was like reaching out, promoting. So it was a non-government kind of job. It was more of promotional, more of facilitation. Then I became managing director of Hartron later, which is a Haryana Electronics Corporation. And also I was the CEO of SPIC in the government, Society for Promotion of IT. These were almost like, corporate entrepreneurial jobs, trying to raise the revenue of the corporations. Then when I came out, I firstly became an independent speaker, which is not really an entrepreneurial job, but it is like you're trying to brand yourself. So when I post something on LinkedIn, I get 2 more invitations, 3 more invitations.
Right.
हम भी अपना पॉडकास्ट लगाएंगे तो उसके बाद और इन्विटेशंस आते हैं. Some I accept, some I don't accept, but at least that brand is building up, right? And you have a certain segment of people who will watch this for the first time.
Right.
उन्होंने मेरा नहीं देखा होगा कहीं पॉडकास्ट, आपका देखेंगे वो, मान लो. And then they will listen to this point and say कि अच्छा और सुनते हैं इनके बारे में. So that comes in, right? So you are an entrepreneur, you are a self-propelled brand in yourself, and my work is motivational. I am not trying to become rich. I am trying to do well. I do corporate talks. I go to companies and speak professionally. They pay me. But I do 80% of my work is free of cost.
Right.
And I go to villages also. I go to government schools. I go to teachers. हमारी एक संस्था भी है सुविचार, एक I2 है, I think of others. We go give our time to these people कि यार लाइफ के बारे में हम आपको बताएंगे. Sometimes we go and give tiffin boxes to the students who don't deserve them or who can't afford them.
Right.
So we do that. तो ये सब चीज़ें मुझे अच्छी लगती हैं, तो I do that and I enjoy this phase of life.
In a very sophisticated
Humor is
way.
also very important.
100%.
लाइफ में जो cheerfulness है, अब हमने थोड़ा बहुत हुआ है ना ह्यूमर, इसके बिना लाइफ इज डल.
Right.
So your vibe, I love this word of Gen Z. Your vibe is your aura. And that aura is what you carry. And that is not what you say or what you do or what watch you're wearing. I'm not even wearing a watch. The point is that you are carrying your vibe and aura. That is more important.
Right.
Okay.
So, straight question is IAS या entrepreneurship? क्या choose
IAS.
करोगे? Indian bureaucracy को एक word में अगर describe करना हो personal experience के साथ.
Resilient.
Great. इंडिया का सबसे अर्जेंट गवर्नेंस चैलेंज आपके हिसाब से क्या है इस टाइम पे?
Public service delivery through transparency.
एक लीडरशिप ट्रेट जो आप चाहते हैं हर 20 साल के जेनजी के अंदर, स्टूडेंट के अंदर हो?
Balance with dynamism. तो ये बड़ा एक थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ. I've developed my skills. I'm developing my skills further. But I also need to be dynamic. वो जोश वाली जो हमने बात की, ये नहीं हो सकता कि अब मैं 1-2 साल यार you take a break, but hone your skills in some direction. या तो आप फिजिकली फिट उस टाइम और हो जाइए, मसल डेवलप करो, या फिर आप अपने ब्रेन पावर डेवलप करो, या आप न्यू स्किल कोई लर्न कर लो. You take a break, but you also develop at the same time. So don't sit stagnant.
Right. एक ऐसी बुक जो आप चाहते हैं हर इंडियन स्टूडेंट स्टडी करे?
So मेरी फेवरेट बुक तो आपको शायद पता होगी. It is Autobiography of a Yogi.
Right.
And I'll come to the student part, but I think Autobiography of a Yogi is a spiritual book which everybody should read. Any religion, any part of the world. In fact, you will be surprised, it is a global bestseller. It has been translated into 90% of the world's languages. Can read it in their own language. So I think it is a book about how the purpose of life can be fulfilled. जो मैंने शुरू में कहा कि purpose of life ultimately to connect with God, but you have also to do your role in life. आपका रोल है इस टाइम पॉडकास्ट करना, मेरा रोल है कि मैं आपकी आंसर्स करूं. इस रोल को मैंने बखूबी निभाना है, जिसको कहते हैं. आई हैव टू डू वेल इन दिस रोल. And whenever I get an opportunity, I have to connect with the Lord.
Right.
When I'm walking out to my car, I need not think about what I'm going to buy on the way or whatever. I can think about God at that time.
Right.
So, get the point? So, Paramahansa Yogananda, in Autobiography of a Yogi, he says, and his guru says rather, Sri Yukteswar, he says, everything in future will improve if you are making a spiritual effort now. स्पिरिचुअल एफर्ट थोड़ा थोड़ा करते रहिए, सब कुछ इम्प्रूव होता जाएगा. रिवर्सेस आते हैं, वो चले जाते हैं. सो आई थिंक इन अ नटशेल दैट बुक, एंड वन मोर बुक आई कैन से विच इज़ वेरी वेरी पॉपुलर नाउ डेज एंड मेनी पीपल हैव रेड इट, बट आई कैन रिपीट, एटॉमिक हैबिट्स बाय जेम्स क्लियर. इम्प्रूव योर सेल्फ इंक्रीमेंटली. और एक मेरी बुक भी है जो पढ़ सकते हैं, फाइंडिंग सक्सेस विद इन, हाउ यू फाइंड ट्रू सक्सेस बाय विनिंग द इनर बैटल, नॉट द आउटर बैटल.
वेरी मच हेल्पफुल. अगर आपको एक दिन के लिए यूथ डेवलपमेंट मिनिस्टर बना दिया जाए, व्हाट विल बी द फर्स्ट डिसीजन यू विल मेक फॉर द यूथ?
आई विल मेक स्पोर्ट्स कंपलसरी फॉर देम. नंबर 1, आपने आउटडोर स्पोर्ट्स खेलना है. यू सी, स्पोर्ट्स से क्या होता है, एक जिसको बोलते हैं ना पंजाबी में, ये बंदा बन जाएगा वो. तो बंदा कैसे बनेगा कि उसने, एक कहावत और है, यू नो समबडी फॉर 10 years बट यू नेवर सॉ हिम ऑन द स्पोर्ट्स फील्ड, यू डोंट नो हिम एट ऑल.
राइट.
When he or she is on the sports field, जब वो चीटिंग करेगा ना थोड़ी सी, तो आपको पता चलेगा ये बंदा ऐसा है, या वो नहीं करेगा. तो अब जैसे स्निक लगती है, बैट्समैन वॉक्स, राहुल द्रविड़ वुड वॉक. that shows your character is amazing. So I think sports is number 1, and if you give me a second one, I would say confident communication skills.
Right.
Very important.
That should be a compulsion for everybody.
It should be a compulsion.
Okay.
You may be brilliant, but you have to communicate.
Right. And if we have to give students example of a perfect life for their age, we have discussed it already, like what they should do in terms of, you know, upskilling themselves. But if they have to have a, कहते हैं ना, Gen Z is looking forward to innovate, यार मेरे को पहले पता होना चाहिए मुझे क्या करना है. Then I can either do vibe coding, I'll do my vibe matching, वो सारे angle, they start from the goal. So what sort of perfect life they should think in today's world, which is 2026.
So as I said, perfection may not be possible, but you can keep improving. So firstly, work on your own mindset and skills. You want a good relationship, a good career. In that relationship, half of the contribution is yours. So if you feel, you have to analyze कि मेरे अंदर ही drawbacks हैं, मैं दूसरे से क्या expect कर रहा हूँ. So don't expect too much from others, and try and improve your own drawbacks. Secondly, develop your basic skills: communication, analytical thinking, decision making, people skills, team building, emotional intelligence. जब ये skills मैं develop करूँगा तो कुछ भी आ जाए, it's perfect. Choosing a career is not really important as much as these things, because careers sometimes will come and they may change. Right. You and I have changed our careers. So we are still like those basic skills are coming in handy for us.
Right.
So I think the balanced, perfect time for them is to keep working on the skills and qualities, confidence, and try to be dynamic, as I said. And of course, eliminate those choices which are not part of CA. नहीं बनना अपने तो वो छोड़ दो उसको.
Right.
So go for those things, shortlist करके, which are the best possible. And if you wanted to play the guitar and you also want to be a engineer, then do both.
Right.
What is the problem?
Right. So have clarity and focus.
As far as possible.
And I think we had very great time over here.
We
so
had.
One last word to the people who are listening to you for the first time.
Yeah, I think firstly I enjoyed the podcast. Thank you very much. Good questions and conversation. Vibe is good. I think one last word is to not worry so much. ज़्यादा चिंता नहीं करनी चाहिए. And I am a motivator, but I must say that we over worry. And that worry makes us perform below our own best performance. Because we worried, we did not do well in the exam or interview or the match or whatever it was. And lighter point पे ये है कि when a boy and girl are dating, के हमें एक दूसरे को मतलब compatibility, वहाँ पे भी हम वरी करके या मैं कुछ गलत ना कर दूँ या बोल दूँ तो वहाँ पे भी हम गड़बड़ करके आ गए. So the coolness, calmness and solid mindset is required. For that you need faith. Faith in yourself and faith in God.
Right.
Then you will be fine.
तभी आप कह सकोगे vibe है.
Vibe.
Thank you so much, sir. Really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you, Ritesh.